Okay, sorry it took me a little while to make this last part of the Granny Square videos. Um, I had a busy day of delivering the kits to everyone, and I will explain a little later all the different stuff that are in the kits. But this is the last part of the Granny Square video, and what it is to explain how to continue building. You can make your granny squares as big or as small as you would like, depending on the size of your project. Usually for blankets, I'll make mine a little bit bigger, but for bags, you can make them a little bit smaller. But continuing on, your building your granny square is going to be the same for every row around it. And then I have a couple of examples back here behind us of different granny squares that I've made using this same material. So once you get to this part where you've done your circle and then you've started building on your square, you're going to chain two. So remember, you're going to do yarn over and then pull it through. And if you hook your yarn like that, occasionally I've done it as well, you can pull your yarn up a little bit, get your hook all the way through it, and then pull it tight again, and that'll fix that little snag. And then you're going to do that twice, so you want to have two chains, and then you're going to flip it. And so then to continue on, you're going to do yarn over through that hoop right there, and you're going to grab your yarn and pull it through. You should have 3 on. So yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. You're going to do it one more time. And you're going to keep going. So the big thing now is what you're going to do is everywhere that you have the chain stitch that we did, so like right here, you're going to have the chain stitch in the middle of your sets of 3, but you're also going to have this middle set and then another one on the end. So you're going to chain, and you're going to go over here to that chain stitch we had on the corner, and you're just going to do the same thing that we've been doing, just the double crochets. And like I said, you're going to do them in sets of 3. And then one chain. And you can hold your hook any way that you want to hold it. I know sometimes people tell me the way I hold my hook is wrong. There's no right way or wrong way to do it, as long as you are holding it comfortable for you. You want to do one chain, and then now we're going to do this in the middle. And so as you continue building on your square, you're going to have more of these little spots here in the middle, and you're just going to crochet into that middle spot. And I know mine looks like one solid color, but eventually it will change and start to turn a different color as I progress on with the project. So you can kind of see what we're going to do. And so each time you get to the end down here, you're going to chain 2, flip it in the other direction, and start repeating what we just did. And so eventually you should end up with something like this. And it starts out as a circle in the middle, and then you just build. And so here's one square, and then here's the next square. And so you'll be able to start looking at it and seeing. And eventually it'll get as big as you would like. And so what I always do when I'm making a project, if you're going to want to make a bunch of granny squares to put them together, is you want to count how many holes are on the end of it. So in this case, I would count this first one here on the corner. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then this last one would be 8. So every time you make a square, you want to be able to make sure you can count 8 on the corner. Now, if you're making a smaller square, you may have 6, you may have 7, 5, whatever. You just want to make sure that you have the same amount, because eventually when you get ready to sew this project together, you want to be able to match it seam for seam. So once we get a few of these granny squares done, then what I can do is go back and show you a couple of different projects that you can make using your granny squares that you've made. Some of the bags, I want to say they take 20 or 21. I'll find the pattern on that and show you guys. For those, I would probably use a smaller granny square than this one, because these tend to be a lot larger. I would probably stop at 6, just for that sake, but you'll end up getting some pretty variegations in your color. And so that is going to conclude the granny square tutorial. If you guys have any questions at all while starting this project, feel free to email me, message me, let me know, and I'm free to help you guys through it. So, okay, see you in the next one.